I'm Steven.
And I'm Holly.
And we're the Pucketts.
We've been attending Grace since 1995.
We started coming to Grace because we were teenagers with a newborn baby, and it was the closest church to the house at the time.
We were looking for support and family who could encourage us and help us, and I just knew I wanted to raise my kids in church, and I decided we should try Grace.
And I went because she told me to. I had lots of hair. It was down to here, hoop earrings, goatee. It was sweet.
Well, you know, when I was praying for God to fix Puckett, he really fixed me before he even started working on Puckett. That's what happened. He convicted me and changed my heart.
Yeah, well, I can remember when that happened.
Yeah.
Because she would get mad. You just need to lead our family. And then she stopped doing that. And I was like, well, that's weird. Why isn't she doing that anymore?
Because I started praying it.
She started praying it, and then the Lord just started working, and then the
God
Lord
changed both of
us.
us.
Yes. And now here we are.
Here we are.
Yeah, so it's cool. We have 3 kids.
All 3 of the kids grew up in church here from the time they were born.
For most of their childhood, the children's ministry ranged from 15 to maybe 20 kids as families raised up and came and left. And even in those lean years when things were pretty rough, and you know, we had some people that were holding back their tithing because of what was going on, but I think we had made a commitment that when we were tithing, that everything we have is from the Lord, and that, you know, knowing that the Spirit was here, that He was going to be faithful, and we needed to be faithful in giving. So we just kept giving, and, you know, just praying that the Lord would just use that for the kingdom.
It's a blessing to give, you know, and when we were young and we were starting out our family, and we didn't really understand what tithing was, but over the years as we learned what it meant, that everything that we have is God's, and we're more blessed when we give. He's shown us that over and over.
Yeah, I mean, we stood out. For years, there was a sign, well, for this sanctuary, there was a sign out there that said financing provided by God. And like the sign had fallen off of the post, but the Lord blessed this place, and that was just from faithful giving. So He does some crazy stuff.
When we were growing up, I lived in a house on 10 acres, and it was just pasture land surrounding me everywhere. And now, you know, we have subdivisions and neighborhoods and stores and buildings going up everywhere. And so I'm excited to see families get to experience Salado.
Every Sunday morning, when we turn the kids loose, there are more kids running back to the church than there were families attending here 5 years ago. So I never thought that we'd come to a point with all of our years here that we'd be running out of space like we are. But we have kiddos placed in every nook and cranny that we have, and it's great and it's wonderful. And we have other babies being born and families showing up more often than what we used to, and pregnant moms and all over the place. It's exciting.
Pregnant moms all over the place.
They're everywhere.
One of my greatest joys of being at Grace is seeing how God has worked in our family. And one thing that I hold on to and that I know is true is that He does make all things new, and that He redeems all things. And so everything we have been through in our marriage, in our life, and with our kids, and good things, bad things, you know, mistakes and victories, God has used Grace and the people here to grow us. And it's my dream for families here to experience what Puckett and I have experienced at Grace, as far as seeing children be discipled and be led, and to go out into the world and to obey God's command to make disciples of all nations. Please consider giving to help grow Grace and to be a part of what God's doing in the lives of our family and our church.